What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the RabidMining YouTube channel, and we're talking about the Ethereum DAG size today. And tomorrow, it's set to hit the 5 gigabyte mark. So this may or may not be a big deal, but we also have to keep an eye on another special date, and that is the 18th, the day after tomorrow, because depending on the hash rate that is going to leave the Ethereum network because of this 5 gigabyte DAG, they're going to reevaluate when they should potentially add Bellatrix onto mainnet, which will be setting the timer for 10 days later of the merge to come into play. But first, we're looking at the DAG size. So what does this mean to all of us Ethereum miners? All right, so what does this mean? I'm not sure if there's any GPUs that are 5 gigabytes in memory. There may be some out there, but none of mine do, so that's not affecting any of them. Let me know in the comments if you do know some GPUs that potentially have 5 gigabytes. It's entirely possible. I'm just unaware of them. I did run through ASIC miner value here, and there are only, let me just type in ETH here, and there's only one that allegedly is at 5 gigs or at least less. This is the A10eth Master 500 mega hash September 2019. So if I click on this, it doesn't tell me how much memory it actually has. It just says buy the Pro model instead. Not enough RAM to mine ETH with this model. Case closed. It's probably maybe had 4 point something and it's already been off for a while. I have never had any of these A10s, A10 Pros, so I cannot confirm or deny what any of them are. But every other miner, at least on ASIC miner value, does have at least over 5 gigabytes. Now, the main ones we are pretty much concerned about here are the Jazz miners. Everything else is over 5, but the Jazz miners, the X4Q, X41U, X4C1U, and I'm pretty sure the brick, we better have a look at this guy right quick. The brick is hanging out. Yeah, it's 5G also in memory. So that looks like all the Jazz miners are set to potentially fall off the network. Now, I'm not sure if they actually are. So if we turn back time and kind of remember back to the 4 gigabyte DAG, this is when all those Polaris GPUs were supposed to fall off the network. Everyone started mass selling them and getting rid of them. And then LOL Miner dropped zombie mode and you're able to utilize it quite a bit past the 4 gigabyte mark. 5-6 months later, utilizing a x16 slot, I was still able to get like 27 mega hash, and we were well into the 4.1, 4.2 DAG size here and still hashing away on those 4 gigabyte GPUs. Mind you, ASICs may be a little bit different. Some firmware could cheat the system and still allow it, but I do think they're probably only going to see reduced hash rate. Now, there are reports coming in of the 420 mega hash versions. That is the 1C version. That's already been losing hash rates for about a month or so now. So they may have a maximum of 5 gigabytes with a 4.8 working, meaning they are able to work up to that whole 5 gig. So at the 5 gig mark, those versions may fall off, but the 520 mega hash versions may have 5.2 working, 5 gig on its actual main DAG loading, which means it'll lose its hash rate, but work up to about 5.2, which should last until the end of Ethereum. Now, these are extremely efficient miners. So if it loses from 580 mega hash, goes down to like 350, 400 mega hash, but still only utilizing like 290 watts, these are still going to be amazing on Ethereum. Again, we got to wait for this date to happen for this to actually go through. And when the date's actually going to happen, looks like this is on your local time if you go to MinerStat for yourself, about 11:45, so just before noon. We'll probably have a live stream about a half an hour early, and we'll watch this whole thing unfold because there are 2 networks we're really going to have to look out for. Obviously, the first network we're going to be watching here is Ethereum. We're hanging out currently at about 922 terahash on the network. So if all the Jazz miners fall off, it'll be curious to see how much this does drop when it goes through. And if they just lose some reduction here, it'll be curious again to see how much hash rate actually falls off just from a reduction. It'll give us a little idea of how much ASIC hash rate is on here and then how bad, this will look for GPUs once Ethereum is gone. If we see a ton of hash rate drop off, GPUs will be looking better. But if we kind of don't see much happen at all, then obviously the super efficient Jazz miners, they were hardly on the network in the first place. The other network we are going to have to watch is Ethereum Classic. Here is the past month, and we started having price pumps At the same time, a lot of the Ipollo miners have been going out, and you guys have been picking those things up like crazy. That's awesome. If you're still looking for some, I do have links in the description. Be sure to check them out for multiple sales. Just check for the cheapest price, either Jingle Mining or Belay Mining. But another thing here is if the hash rate does fall off like the one used, we're probably most likely going to see them move to Ethereum Classic here. So we're going to be watching for hash rate increases across Ethereum Classic as hash moves over from Ethereum onto ETC. And again, this will kind of give us an idea of how much more hash rate we can kind of expect moving into the future once Ethereum does disappear. And the final thing here is obviously the date we have to watch. After all, we see the hash rate move here and there and whatever, we have to pay attention to the Ethereum devs. On the 18th, following the day of this 5 GB DAGs, they're going to reevaluate the network and just see when they should implement Bellatrix and set their TTD. Right now, it is all set and ready in place, but it's not 100% official yet. They do want to make sure the hash rate changes does not change it. So what could happen in terms of hash rates once Bellatrix does come online, and as more hash rate moves onto the network, that will speed the merge up. So if the price starts going up and miners move into Ethereum more and more, that just, closes the doors faster for Ethereum mining. Now, if the prices start to tank or people want to kind of do something here or potential attack, who knows? But if they pull hash rate off the Ethereum network at this time, it will extend the merge. And then they'll have to be, instead of being the 15th, 16th, it could take to, the 25th, potentially the end of the month, depending on how much hash rate shifts. So keep this in mind. This is what they are going to be reevaluating based on the 5 GB and how much hash rate does leave. They'll readjust their dates, and then pretty much it'll be game over. And then the next date after that is when Bellatrix comes on. And if maintaining the hash rate remains consistent, we will see the merge happen about 10 days after Bellatrix does go live. So there we go, guys. We got the timeline. We got the 5 GB DAG coming up. Some interesting times here. We're going to go live stream all this. But thank you for watching this video. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.